It's making headlines all over the world. Billions of dollars pumped into a few low-price stocks, a battle of Wall Street versus Main Street. Reddit users teaming up to buy shares of companies like GameStop and now AMC Theaters, in turn leaving hedge fund losing billions of dollars.
Yeah, this is kind of complicated, and there are a lot of questions here. So tonight, our executive producer Seth Kaplan talked to Brett Angel. He's a senior wealth advisor with the Marks Group about what this all really means.
What do you think the message that this is sending about how easy it can be to manipulate stocks and transfer billions of dollars between people in just a few hours?
Yeah, I think to some extent that's always the case when it comes to the stock market. Even if you only see the trading price or the share price on a certain stock tick up or down, a dollar or two in a certain day, because there are, billions and billions or trillions of dollars in some cases being exchanged, there's always a lot of wealth created or lost. This gets more attention because of the source of these Reddit users, and like I said, because it's more a group of average Joes targeting a hedge fund. But this is not indicative of some new paradigm in the stock market. This isn't investing; it's day trading and it's gambling. It's not going to change the dynamics of the market going forward. So I think that's important to keep in mind.
The stock market's always been seen as that last bastion of free market. Everyone has an opportunity to get in, to get out, to make money, to lose money. But certain people aren't being allowed to do that right now on the platform that they trade stocks on. Like you said, this isn't something that we foresee as a long-term issue, but do you see that as an issue for right now for people that are invested in these companies?
I think it matters insofar as what a platform like Robinhood or other similar types of companies are going to become. So I don't know that it's problematic, but I think it's just a reminder that technology can evolve quickly, and that we're never sure what's going to happen until it actually does.
Do you foresee this having any kind of implications long term, or for the people that don't trade stocks, who are long term, who are 401k? Does this matter to them, or is it a total blip on the radar?
I think it's the latter. Again, longer term, this isn't going to become a new fad or a new trend line for investors. I don't think it's something that you can necessarily even predict either. Corporate earnings are going to be a much bigger driver of performance, both for individual companies and for the stock market. The massive liquidity that's being injected into the economy from the Federal Reserve is a much bigger deal. The amount of government stimulus, fiscal packages that are put in place by Congress is a bigger deal. So in terms of the long list of things that are moving the stock market day to day, this is a lot closer to the bottom than the top. But that said, if you happen to own this particular company, it matters an awful lot.
If we do an interview in 6 months from now, and I say, Brett, remember when we talked 6 months ago about that craziness that happened with GameStop? What do you think the takeaway will be from all of this?
I think it's just the latest in a string of strange and unusual things going on in the world and in the stock market right now. I think it'll be memorable, especially for people who were involved in it or who decided to invest their own money in it. But I don't think it's going to be something that leads to a bigger effect in terms of regulation or in terms of drivers of the stock market. I think it's going to be much more of an exception.